Okay, so the biggest mistake that we see in IEPs is your PLAFs. They're pitiful. They're pitiful. You know what your PLAFs are supposed to be? Pristine, prescriptive, and puffy, like a good hairdo. So how do we make sure that that happens? We make sure that we have all the data that is important to this student and IEP in the present levels. So you guys are pretty good at doing state testing, reading levels, grades. Wah, wah. Does anybody care about grades? We don't. But you need to know what is the disability? What are the medical conditions? What are the characteristics of the disability? And how does that show up across content areas? So a lot of times we talk about he doesn't read good and then he has a behavior plan. But we have this much in behavior. We got 5 behavior goals and a huge section for reading, but he has no reading goals. It has to be commensurate, right? So the eligibility, the present levels should be the same throughout the entire document, right? So what are the eligibilities and what is their correct order? If you have OHI for ADHD and you have a specific learning disability in math calculations, the OHI for ADHD is going to be first, which also means in your present levels, we got to talk about the ADHD. What kind of ADHD is it? Is it inattentive? Is it hyperactive? Is it combined? Is the student receiving behavioral supports and medical interventions? We need to know all that information. And how does that ADHD show up in the classroom? Because some classrooms, it might not show up meaning there's not an educational need, but in some classrooms, it might be very apparent that he is struggling with this disability. So make sure that everybody that's providing your child an educational product has input. The cafeteria lady, the PE teacher, your music teacher, the ag teacher, ROTC. You have a disability all day long. How does that look in the school so that we know where we need to push in, where we need to provide specially designed instruction, and where we need to pull out? Where do we need more accommodations? Do we need an IEP goal? Does a disability rise to the level of needing an IEP goal and across what settings? So we don't just count on the school to show up with the PLAF. The parents have to show up with their input as well. What's going on at home? Is there anything new going at home? Is the last sibling moved off? Are they, switching campuses? What could be predicating these new outcomes and changes? We have to put those in the PLAFs, the present levels of academic achievement and functional performance every single time. I should be able to pick up your child's folder, look at their present levels and go, oh, this is Billy Smith. This is what Billy Smith looks like in science. This is what Billy Smith looks like in reading, and know from those present levels exactly what he's going to need in IEP goals, accommodations, and schedule of services to write a robust IEP to help him mitigate his unique circumstances and teach him a skill to overcome his deficits. Remember, we get it right for the child, we get it right for everybody. We'll see you guys in the next training.